In the last lesson, we talked about what prophecy said about the first and second coming of Christ. In this lesson, we will look at what Jesus himself said about the second coming. Jesus talked more about the kingdom and his second coming than any other topic. Jesus starts his discussion on the end times by telling us to be careful that no man deceives us. What Jesus is describing in Matthew 24 will take many years to accomplish, and he is letting them know the end would not be anytime soon. However, Jesus made this statement 2,000 years ago. Many years have passed, and a lot of the prophecies have been fulfilled, but many have not. Those who know their God and study his word can see that the last day is approaching.
Matthew 24 verses 4-9. And Jesus answered and said to them, Take heed that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake.
Take a look at the other places this is mentioned. Mark 13 verses 4-8 and Luke 21 verses 8-11. We hear from Jesus, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Paul, and Peter what time will look like from Jesus' ascension to the last days before he returns. In the past 2,000 years, we have seen many kingdoms rise and fall again. It would be hard to count the number of wars or even the number of earthquakes across the world.
1 Timothy 4 verses 1-2. Now the Spirit expressly says that in latter times some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their own conscience seared with a hot iron. 2 Timothy 3 verses 1-5. But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And from such people turn away. 2 Peter 3 verses 3-4. Knowing this first, that scoffers will come in the last days, walking according to their own lusts, and saying, Where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation.
Paul and Peter spoke prophetically of this day and age when there are seducing spirits everywhere and hypocrisy runs rampant. We have never had a time in history when humans love themselves and their pleasures more than they do today. Scoffers are abundant, claiming there is no such thing as sin or truth. Scoffers who say there is no God and he is never coming back. Those same scoffers love living in their sin and walking after their own lust. Jesus told us himself that the last days would be filled with sin and suffering. Jesus came to this earth to offer us a way to remove sin from our lives.
In Matthew 24, Jesus said, Take heed that no man deceive you. Peter said in the last days that scoffers would walk after their own what? Lust.